Have you ever wrestled with the thought about whether you should play it safe and not fully invest and not fully love, because there's a huge potential that if you lose what you love, your heart might not be able to handle the pain of it? Well, I work with vulnerable, hurting youth. Many of them are homeless, many of them are street entrenched, and many of them are drug entrenched. And early on, I had to really make a decision of how much I was going to invest in them and how much I was going to let my heart go there and love them. And I was like, questions like, is it worth the pain? Like, could I handle if I lost them, or could I handle if they never change, or if they make bad choices and end up in jail? Like, could I handle that? And I decided early on that it is worth it, and I was going to choose to love fully, because I heard things like how one person could change the trajectory of someone's life. Like, one person loving them and valuing them could change the trajectory of that person's life. And when I look at these youth, so many of them have never felt loved or never felt really valued like that. So just having someone do that for them, it could really impact them. These past 2 weeks have been really hard, and I love my job, but if I hate anything, it's when we lose them. And this past 2 weeks, we lost two very vibrant, joyful youth, and it just broke my heart. It hurt so bad, and I've just wrestled through the grief and gone through the stages of grief, the deep sadness and the anger of the injustice of it, and also the bargaining and different things. And I've had to ask myself, is it worth it? I invest and I love, and then they die, and is it worth the impact? Is it worth my heart's impact on that, the impact on my heart? And as I've wrestled through that, it's totally worth it. And I don't know the impact I had on them. And sure, their life didn't change the way I was hoping. And they're gone now. It's just it's so hard. Even for loving them and valuing them in the moment, it was worth it. And maybe for some of the other ones, we never know which ones we'll lose and which ones won't. But maybe there will be a youth who even I can just be a link in the chain of helping change the trajectory, change the path they're on for the better. And it's totally worth it. And also in the bargaining part of grief, where you're oh, I should have done that, or did I do that well enough, or oh, I should have done that. I think because I chose to fully love, I don't have any regrets, because I knew I loved them as much as I could love them in the moment. So I'm not going back and saying, oh, I wish I did this, I wish I did that, which is a very normal part of grief, because I knew I fully loved and fully invested. So I think it is worth it 100%. But the question is, can I handle it? Can I handle these blows to my heart when I fully invest? And one thing is, I'm learning how to grieve. I'm learning to just let myself feel all the feels and go through the process of it and go through the waves. And I've learned not to put a lid on it, that it's important to let myself feel what I'm feeling. But also I know I'm not alone in it. And actually, more than anything, the thing that brings me the most comfort is to know that the giver of life is there with me, and he gives me the strength. And I for example, right before I heard about the second youth passing, I was just praying, and I just saw this picture of Jesus come up to me and put his hands on my cheek, and he's I heard him say, Amber, I've got you. I've got you. And it just gave me this strength and resolve. And then within minutes, I got the phone call about the second youth, and it just was so comforting to know that he's I've got you. And then a couple days later, I just felt crushed under the grief, and just it's the grief of losing those two, but also the grief that I could keep losing them, and we've lost a lot, and it's just that systemic problem, and I'm just grieving it all, and grieving the potential that any of these youth I work with, I could come to work the next day and they might not be there. And so I just was feeling so heavy, and again I just was praying, and I just just heard him say, just give me the burdens, give me your burdens. So I did. I just gave it to him. And as I did, it's just like I felt this peace and I felt lighter. And so that helps me know that I can handle it. Maybe I can't handle it, but he can comfort me and he can help me handle it. So I think fully loving is 100% worth it. And I'm learning that as I learn to grieve in a healthy way and I learn to just cling to the giver of life, I'm going to bounce back. So I just want to invite you to continue to journey with me as we go through the ups and downs of life. And if that's something you want to do, you can subscribe to my channel and we'll just keep walking together. Okay, bye.